Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Devin Metcalf here from Florida. Wanted to make a quick end time dream that was given to me yesterday by my 12-year-old son. I will read it to you. It's his own words. And so from there, you can decide what you're receiving out of this. My son says, in my dream, we were having a World War III ceremony. There was countries standing there with their guns. It was held in a place like a stadium, and there were lots of people sitting down wearing masks. He said the president was already standing. I was asking him if the president was sitting, but he said no, the president was already standing. He raised his finger and said, I am declaring war. I could see his face, but I don't remember what he looks like. He said he was white, and he was not like President Trump in size. He was smaller. As he said, I am declaring war, the country started shooting their guns, and an old soldier, a veteran, who was sitting beside the president, was shot. He was not wearing a mask because he was too old to wear a mask. And he was in a tent by himself. He said, then the old man fell out of his chair and died. He said he was in his tent beside the president's tent in the stadium-like area. Then everyone scattered. Then we jumped into our helicopter and reached home in about 2 minutes. He said we went to Florida, but it seems like we were in Jamaica at the same time. We went into our underground bunker, and there were guns and other people there also. And there were securities, and they know how to use the guns. He said, Mommy was telling Grandma in Jamaica where to go and tell her to tell Auntie Tina and everyone where they need to go and hide. He said, then me and Mommy close up the door of the bunker. We were the last one to enter, and there were other people waiting there. And Mommy woke me up. So this is a dream of my son. And I can tell you, he doesn't watch soldier movies, all of those stuff. He basically play Roblox. he play Roblox. And to see him get this dream in all of his details, the president standing up and say, I am declaring war. It was not President Trump. I was also, he also made it clear to me it was not President Obama because he was white. And he was not President Trump because he was not President Trump's size. So, could it be President Biden? I don't know. And where he saw where a veteran who was by himself in a tent without the mask, and so happens to be that this veteran who he said was very old and was unable to wear a mask, was the one that was shot. And everybody has scattered. He didn't see anybody else being shot in the dream. He just saw that this single person who was wearing a mask, was not wearing a mask, was the one that got shot. And then where he was talking about going under bunker and going to telling different, as if he's in Jamaica at the same time. I believe that he's showing that where it will be happening around the world. People will be trying to find places to hide, going under bunker. Even here in the USA, people will be going under bunker with their guns and everything under bunker. But I believe we as the Christians will be out of there. I believe the dream, he was just placing the dream as if to show what people will actually be experiencing, what mothers will be experiencing, etc., 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 and that the war is going to be declared. I believe the Lord is giving him this message to let his people know that there is going to be a third world war, and he's showing that it was not President Trump who declared that world war. And to me, I find it ironic that it's only the person who wasn't wearing the mask that actually got shot. I don't know if you see a meaning behind that one. If you do, please go ahead and comment. As I said, this dream is from my 12-year-old son. So I'm just trying to interpret the information as best as I can. But I do believe that he got that dream clearly from God, that a world war is going to be declared, and it's going to be declared by the American president. And it's something that I believe that is pretty close. It's pretty near. And so the Lord is giving him this information. I can tell you for certain that my son, many times he will just come to me and say something to me, and it's absolutely so. I remember when he was maybe a year and a half or two, just learning to talk. He came home and said to us, the lady who was in charge of the daycare, that her son died. Well, her son did die. But the strange thing is, when we were telling the lady, she said she did not tell him that. And for one, the date when he told us, her son wasn't dead as yet. So basically, he saw it ahead of time. And I'm just giving that example. No, it's an occurrence where the Lord does speak to him and in clarity. So when he share a dream like this with me, I take it seriously. And so, people of God, I encourage you to more and more draw closer to the Lord and prepare to go home, because I believe that everything is winding down now. The return of Jesus Christ to take us out of here is very soon. So if I don't see you again, see you in the rapture. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
If you watch the entire video, leave a comment. I want to read your opinion and see what you have to say. Like this video so more people can watch it. Share it with others. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell to receive new videos. And check out these 2 amazing videos that are appearing on your screen.